No jumper, man. We back. This T-Rell. Got my co-host Gina with me. We got a special guest in this room right now, David Sebastian. You know what I'm saying? This young man is a world class talent. I would
Hmm.
say. I mean, he does everything. You know what I'm saying? Is a real artist. This is what you
Thank you.
call real artistry right here. You know what I'm saying? He embodies this. You feel me? So if you don't know today, you are finna know
I'm
now.
about to get familiar.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm
Gangsta
saying?
grills.
What's
That's a
good?
big deal.
Yeah, especially coming up in that Wayne era. You know what I mean? Just it's a vibe. What's good, man?
I
And it's a
love
and
it.
it's an honor to be on No Jumper, man. Getting interviewed by you guys.
Thank you. It's an honor for you to sit over here all rich.
You really cozy. You know what I'm saying? I'm real jealous. I'm like,
I gotta
I
step
knew I
my
was
shit
supposed
up.
to put that fucking puffy coat on when I left. You know what I'm saying? He said, we gonna see how long you withstand this. It might get a little hot. You know what I'm saying? But you are a that's gonna be dedicated to the
Yeah, we
outfit.
dedicated to the aesthetic.
You look good.
Yes.
You look good. We all matching.
Yeah,
Yes, sir, man. So how you been, man? What's the
Yeah.
deal?
man. I've been fucking amazing. I've been great. 3 days ago, I just did my first art exhibition. It was crazy. It's beautiful.
Where was that?
It was. Let me turn my mute. It was downtown in the arts district, and the thing that made it so special is I was able to showcase all of my like expressions in one. So like we shot a film, right? So in the middle it was like this huge 10-foot cube that was like projecting the film. I had my fine art on the wall. I performed, selling merch. So it was just kind of like the inside of my mind. It was tight.
Is that are those photos what's on your website right now?
hmm
Oh, we gonna talk about that. we got it.
Let's talk about it.
We
Let's get
got it.
weird.
So I saw a picture, and it was Jesus, a black Jesus with white paint on him. Can you please explain that?
Well, it wasn't just white paint. It was two like so that particular painting was a reference to a video I shot of a white Jesus, of black Jesus getting painted white by these two makeup artists, and it's just kind of that's what America has done, right? We've kind of white faced Jesus. I mean, it's kind of historically known at this point that Jesus, Jesus, whatever you call him, it was a black man, and through the depiction of Christ in history, he's been like, you know who Caesar Borgia is?
No.
So Caesar Borgia is the white male who is the likeness of Christ, who was, it was either king, it was one of the king's son that they made Jesus look like. So most people who know like the white blonde haired Jesus, that's actually Caesar Borgia.
So the Jesus who we know, the face who
Yeah,
we
was
who
like
we
the king's son, who he made the image.
You know, when I've visited the Vatican, they definitely like taught me a bunch of that, like how they covered up a bunch of things. You feel me, and painted it white. So, yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean, cause like the when you go in the churches and the God is pointing at the finger. I mean, the
Yeah.
finger pointing
Yeah.
at his family or whatever. And he said, I mean, you had Da Vinci and all of that stuff. I was like, damn. Leonardo and all. I'm like, damn, I thought these was Ninja Turtles. But they all started laughing. But they was like, no, these are real artists. And these artists, they was like, well, I was like, well, how did they know what God looked like? How did they know what Jesus looked like to paint these pictures? And the tour guy was like, well, the king actually told him to paint his family.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want this to probably be the deepest no jumper interview y'all have. I want to get like real deep, but if we just talking about religion, religion has been a weapon. They have weaponized religion for control. They gave slaves Bibles to stop them from jumping off of slave ships. I don't
Is
know if
that
you knew
where
that.
like mainly where your artist? That's where it's main your artistry. Like, are you here to like just to enlighten our people? You feel me? And just to let people know. I mean, because it's kind of like it's really out there. some people are kind of like standoffish from it, and
Yeah.
then some of our people kind of understand.
Well, you gotta think about it like this: most artists, especially the really successful ones, are brought and paid for. So you have a lot of puppets, and puppets when you get worldwide acclaim and money, you're not gonna speak out against the regime, the this. So you just smile for the cameras. And on our way here, I was looking at a video about Plato's cave. Do you guys know what Plato's cave is?
No.
So Plato, the philosopher, had this theory, right, about these three prisoners sitting in a cave, right? So imagine three prisoners, they've never been outside this cave, and they have their backs against the wall, and they're looking at this wall, and it's just like these shadow puppets on the wall, right? So their whole life they seen these shadows on the wall. And the shadow was being created from the sunlight behind them, hitting the trees and stuff, and like casting these images on the wall. So one day, one of the prisoners escaped, right? And he goes outside and he's like blinded by the light, and he sees like trees, and he sees the sun, and he sees all these things, and he realized the shit that he was raised watching was an illusion. It was just a shadow, right? So he goes back to the cave and he tells the other prisoners, like, yo, all this shit is fake. And they're looking at him like, you crazy. And he can't even you can't describe something to someone who can't even fathom what it is, right? So I think there's like 5% of the world who know that the shadows are fake. And the rest of us are just looking at picture puppets, just smiling.
When I was going through your website, there was some stuff on there that made me question my own existence.
How so?
And there was so one of the things that stood out to me, it was in the text, and it said, God is ironic, the devil is a metaphor.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the devil being a metaphor?
So I have this song called The Devil's Metaphor on We Are God. And it says, the devil is your fears. He's the voices that you hear, the person staring at you when you get dressed in the mirror. Thinking of the best way to put this. If you go up to anyone and you say the devil, what do most people think about? Some red dude with fucking horns and hell, fire. But in all actuality, the devil is your fear. This entire universe operates off of two things, love and fear. And since you're a child, you've been taught to fear things, to fear what you don't know, to fear yourself. That's why they put religion, you know what I mean? Because now you're afraid of this and that, so the devil is a metaphor for your own fears and anxieties that hold you back.
Do you follow any religion?
No, yes, I follow all of them. So I've read on Hinduism, on Buddhism, on Christianity, on all types of faiths, because I think it's good to just like educate yourself on different faiths. But I wouldn't say that I necessarily follow anyone in particular. I have grown to Jesus, right? If you read the Bible, he pretty much just had two main things he was trying to tell people. One is just love everyone, right? Just love your neighbor, love everyone. Even as they was beating the shit out of him, he said, God forgive them, they don't know what they do. And that's happened to me. Like, I've tried to look out for niggas who I've literally found on the streets. Niggas was homeless, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna give you some love. But one day you gonna turn on me, nigga. You gonna like, but I forgive you because I know what it is. So it's love above all else and faith. So, I follow that, not to like bring up Ye because I know he's a hot topic, but, Christ consciousness, right? So a lot of us, like, we worship Christ, right? But it's really his consciousness that, like, to be able to turn water into wine. It's not magic. It's having undeniable faith that anything you touch can turn. Like, we could get fucking deep, but
let's do it.
That's one of my goals on this planet, is to achieve Christ consciousness. And when you hear like a nigga like Ye, talk about the Nazis and shit like that, I think what he's trying to articulate, I don't know him, so I can't really speak for him, but it's we have to love our oppressors. We have to love everyone. There's no one that is so bad that they don't deserve love in some capacity.
Well, let's start from the beginning where he said that slavery is a choice.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
So I'm not saying that there's some ignorance that comes out. I can't vouch for everything he says. I can't vouch for anything. He's his own man. I will say that slavery today, not slavery back then on the plantations and the cotton fields and when we were colonized by I'm not saying that's a choice. But today, when we kill each other, you know, when we're slaves to brands, labels, slaves to ideas, slaves to green pieces of paper, slaves to the concept of, like, now it's a choice. I wouldn't say it was back then, but now our people are so fucked up. I just watched Will Smith's movie Emancipation. Have y'all seen that yet?
Not yet, no.
I would suggest y'all see it. Beautiful film. And it made me so fucking angry to see what, like, us as a people have been through, like, in real slavery, right? What our great grandparents, what our ancestors went through, to get to a platform now where we're oppressing each other. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
But how do you feel about, like what he says about them exploiting us as a culture? They're, what I'm saying, all in the movies, music, they get to exploit us. But as soon as we say something, there's just like this terrible cloud that goes over our head, and now we're depicted, and now we're shunned and kicked out of everything.
Well, you kind of got to understand, not you, but like people have to understand, like, the matrix in which we live in, right? Like, there is a system in which way things work, right? And there's a system of control, right? And, the masses, right? Most of us are asleep, right? Most people work 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, play 8 hours, right? Most of us just live our lives. It's inconspicuous. We get a wife, we get some kids, and then we die, right? And us being black, us being really the originators of style, the originators of culture and all these things, we have been systematically programmed to, like, chase a microphone, chase a basketball, chase a football, chase all these external things, right? But we have no ownership over any of them, right? We don't own the football team. We don't own the basketball teams. We don't own the record labels. We don't really have ownership over anything. We don't even own our own likeness, So ownership is a very, very big part. Like, who owns No Jumper? Who owns Twitter? Not a nigga. You know what I mean? I just saw this freestyle called Black Executive where it says, who owns Facebook? Who owns Twitter? Who owns Instagram? Not a nigga. From the platforms we use to the movies. And I'm not saying that these are owned by a specific group, because I don't even think it has to do with race. I think it just has to do with the monopolization of information. I like that. The monopolization of information. And that's why we're really in slavery, because we're enslaved to the powers that be, when in reality we control all of this shit. We control media. We control art. If every fucking black football player said, you know what, I quit, we starting our own league, fuck y'all, there would be no NFL. If niggas said we getting off of Instagram and we starting fucking whatever, there'd be no Instagram. We literally control everything and we don't even know it.
Before we go any further, you know what I'm saying? Because the people, let's get the people to know you. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Baby David
Sabastian from Los Angeles, California, born and raised, grew up for the first part of my life in Koreatown and moved to the South Bay. Been to damn near every school in Los Angeles: Carson, Gardena, Palisades, Fairfax, Westchester, Belmont. Super fucking crazy kid who didn't give a fuck. But mostly I just had ideas and opinions. And that's the worst thing for a school system who's trying to breed fucking slaves is a nigga with some opinions. Oh, Christopher Columbus discuss. Oh, how? Or why? Go to the office.
You was getting kicked out for your opinions?
I mean, after a while. I mean, first it started with don't talk, don't do this. I'm an artist, right? You would say I'm a pretty good artist, right?
Yeah.
I failed every art class I had in school. Doesn't make any fucking sense. But it's okay though. You gotta look at. I'm gonna keep talking about me, but to deviate to that is you gotta look at the systems of control. When you have a system like a school, right? How do they make you sit in school? In lines, right? At a little desk, right? Before you talk, what they tell you to do, raise your hands. Outside of your school, what is there normally? Fences, right? A school looks like a fucking prison. A school is, the modern day school system was built to create miniature slaves, man. To be able to put things on a chopping block, make jeans, make this, don't work together. That's why you got to take a test by yourself.
You don't think any of those things you mentioned were created to teach children structure?
So, good answer. Good question. If society is a product of our school system, our education system, with all of that structure, then why do we live in such an unstructured world? Why do the kids? Why do most? I mean, I can only talk about ethnically, like black and brown kids. If school is to teach a structure, then why are most of us like being in prison or like why? You know what I mean? Like why hasn't that reflected into our behavior past school?
Well, not all of us are that way.
Not all of us, but I'm saying
it's the same thing in other races too.
No, for sure. Do you know who created the educational system?
No.
Actually, see, it's hard because I'm trying to go there, but I'm also trying to let people know like what I do because they might just be like, "Who's this nigga in his fur coat talking all this?"
Well, educate us.
I mean, well, yeah, we want to know how you grew up. Then we can go. then we can go talk about how we don't like Biden.
Okay, we'll go.
Go ahead.
We'll go back to that. We'll go back to that. But went to a bunch of schools, dropped out at 16 because I couldn't fuck with the structure, and then I became a designer. And becoming a designer, I literally just drew like a little notepad with a bunch of designs and went on Melrose at the time when it was like super duper popping. Ed Hardy store where the old Ed Hardy store was, going door to door to door selling my designs. And I met Christian Adige, who owned Ed Hardy at the time. Literally seen him 5 days in a row because he kept being like, I'm busy. Finally got him to look at my work and fuck with me. Went next door to Teenage Millionaire, designed for Teenage Millionaire. And then I met Steve Aoki. Then I designed for Denmark. And then from Denmark, Diesel, Ruka, WSC, Rockin' Republic. Like, I've designed for over like 60, 70 labels, man. But I always wanted to do music. But I just felt like a 16-year-old black kid dropping out of high school saying he's a rapper probably wasn't the best look. And at the time, like, you have a clothing brand, right?
No, I just put some shit on a hoodie.
Well,
Hire a black woman.
Hire a black woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you see how you said I just put something on a hoodie? Back then, like, it was kind of hard to do that. Like, not everyone could have that access, right? So, especially like young black people, you know what I mean? Now, it's so easy to create your own entity. So,
You're 16 years old making this type of money designing for all these companies.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well, I wasn't making that much money until I hit about like 18 or 19 because the first designs I was getting like super fucked. I was like getting like $200 a design, you know what I mean? Fucking Steve Aoki tried to trade me hard tickets for some headphones I designed that probably made him too much money, you know? So, but that's just a part of the game in the industry. You're going to get fucked initially, which is cool. Take it to the game. I mean, in the last couple years, I've designed for Drake. You know, I did OVO for Coachella, I did Chris Brown's last tour. I've done, you know, and that's just kind of like my side shit. Like, I don't even really do it full time. I just do it for fun now, but.
Yeah, you did that one collab with YG.
Yeah, the YG shit, 400 merch. so designing, and then I started to do music. And I came out with a record called Pussy Marijuana, and that shit went hard in the streets. And really, man, everything I do is just to inspire people. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't go to college. I didn't do any of that. I don't got no rich parents and nothing like that. I just am a self-motivated person. And I know the potential I have, and I know the potential you have, and we all have. And a lot of people don't know that. They don't know the power they have inside of them. So that's kind of my mission through everything I do: music, art, fashion. Now I have a brand called Skidr Fashion Week. Y'all obviously know what Skidr is, right?
Yeah,
So
I saw you did a fashion show.
yeah, well, was going to end up getting sued by the Gap and Kanye for that. But
For how much? Hold on, don't.
well, what they dropped it after they shut down my website and deleted our Instagram and
Also,
stuff.
that's why you added them and said, "Give me the page back."
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that.
So, long story short, Skid Row, for those who don't know who are watching this, maybe 60, 70,000 homeless people living in a 10-block radius downtown, right? The highest concentrated population of homeless people in America. And the city, LA, has billions of dollars in funding for years that they don't allocate to these people. And yeah, you have missions and stuff like that, but me just being me and knowing that anyone can make a difference, anyone can make an impact. A couple years ago, I just hopped on a little scooter, was driving down Skid Row, and I was asking around, like, yo, who kind of like runs shit down here? Like, who could I talk to if I was trying to like donate my time? And they told me about a guy named Wendell, who is OG, been on Skid Row for 30 years, got through alcoholism, was an addict, all this, cleaned his life up, and now he devotes his life to helping the homeless. And I went up to him and I'm like, man, listen, I got a platform. Niggas know me from music, art, but I want to do something. And he told me, he was like, man, he's like, you know how many artists and politicians and came up to me and told me this? But I got a funny feeling you actually gonna do something. And since then, I just been going hard, man, trying to create opportunities and a platform to really do some real change, you know.
I saw you said there are millionaires spending billions in the metaverse when it's homeless people in our universe.
Yeah.
Did any millionaires reach out to you and say, "Hey, I want to fuck with your movement. I want to help you"?
No. Cause, you know, Ye, Jay, Diddy, and Dre could put all their money together and end homelessness in a day. There's a lot of millionaires. There's a lot of billionaires. The real thing is people just don't give a fuck, man. We can lie. We could pretend like, you know, we do. But a lot of people are so consumed with greed or just the monopolization of their own personal finances that no one's really about that life, man. I've been doing this shit for like 3 years, and you know it's so funny. When I was homeless, living in an office the size of this carpet, getting paid, like, you know what I mean? Like I hit a tough time in my life. I was damn near giving everything I had to Skid Row and to building this company and doing Christmas on Skid Row, giving away thousands of presents, putting up my own money when I had nothing. You know what I mean? So
where did this selflessness like mentality come from that you just want to help and do for others? Because everything that you talked about, like you went to a company, you helped them with their designs, you doing this stuff with Skid Row. How did you become this selflessness person?
Well, I don't know if you become it. I think that's the purpose of life. I think that's the true purpose of life. I think we've been programmed to think it's me, and it's the accumulation of things. But when you really dig deep, I think our purpose is to help one another. And, you know, growing up, like, I've had conversations with some of the richest people on this planet, fucking supermodels, billionaires, all types of hierarchy people. And then I've had conversations with niggas who sleep under the freeway, and they've been some of the realest people on the planet. You know what I mean? Like, just, you can feel a different type of humanity with people who've lost their way and who don't have shit. So, yeah.
Did these political views come from, you know, mom and pops?
What didn't come from pops, my dad was non-existent. in my life, and my mom ain't much into politics either, but she always told me to stand on my word and to not be afraid of nobody and to speak my mind. I just think it just comes from I grew up off like Pac, man. You know what I mean? I grew up off like Malcolm X biography. You know what I mean? Like I grew up off of just militant black men who like stood for things, and that's just the character I'm playing today.
Does it affect you much with Pops not being in your life?
I mean, you know, it's crazy. When I was fucking up in school, right, the first thing they want to say is he's lashing out because he ain't got a father. And I'd always be like, nah, I'm not even thinking about this dude, right? And now that I'm old enough to actually like dig into my fucking psyche a little bit, I like the answer is no. No. Like I appreciate the space in my movie. Like we all have movies, right? That we're living. Your movie, how you grew up, where you were raised. And sometimes it's a lot of trauma and a lot of drama and a lot of bullshit. You know, people have been through a lot of shit, but sometimes we hold on to that trauma and we let it fuck up our lives. We're like, fuck, you touched me. And you let it fuck up your life when you don't realize it's just a part of your personal movie. It just makes your movie more interesting. So him leaving me, being a rabbi, Jewish rabbi, leaving my black mother to fucking raise me, and then, you know, it's just a part of the movie, you know.
So Pops was a Jewish rabbi.
Yeah,
Was
Polish
he a black
Jew.
Jewish
No,
rabbi?
no, like Israeli Jew.
So you're Jewish.
Half
And your mom?
black from Watts.
Christian?
Yeah.
So how you feel about Kanye talking shit?
That's funny. That's his character. That's what he's doing right now. Like, I grew up a Kanye fan, man. Kanye's College Dropout was the first rap album that I ever got in Sunday school. My Sunday school teacher gave that shit to me, and he was like, "You don't know this guy yet, but he reminds me of you." Because when I was a kid, I was like crazy. You know what I mean? I fuck with Kanye. I just think that, you know, he's playing the supervillain right now. You know how when you watch fucking Batman, there's a supervillain. He's making this time interesting by being the villain. It don't really affect
I
me.
mean, yeah, I mean, when he speaks, I'm like, okay, I appreciate the fact that you're enlightening people on different things and different facts about, you know, how our people are being treated and, you know, and who's doing it to them. I definitely appreciate that about him.
The selflessness.
The selflessness for sure. But then it does come to a point to where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
In his song Power, right? He has this quote. He says, "Do you have the power to let power go?" Right? Think about it. You right now, you worth $3 billion, right? And you know by saying something, everything will be taken away from you. Your kids, your family, your money, your reputation, your livelihood, everything. Would you still say it?
No. But just depending on, you know, the circumstances and what's going on and what I'm fighting for. And like you saying, I guess he might be feeling like he's fighting for something that's just way bigger than what we know of.
I know some people who are so rich that all they have is money.
And that's not good. Because no family with money equals like depression, you know what I'm saying? Stress. Like you might end up killing yourself with no money. You definitely have to have something there with money. Like money isn't everything. It's definitely not.
I think it goes
If
back
you don't have that structure.
It goes back to what you were saying earlier about faith. Kanye's faith might be so high that he knows what he's saying, that God got him, regardless of what the
Because I'm being honest with you. I know God got me in like the most unimaginable way. Mm-hmm. Like I would like in every way. I wish you could test it right now. Like I know he has me in every way. And if Kanye is at that level where he knows it, then you can take away money, you could take away earthly things, but if you have the divine looking out for you, I mean, you can have it.
Do you feel like it was you took some sacrifices in your artistry too? Because some of the stuff you've done is like it's real bold to where
Sacrifices out.
it's almost like if you're painting about Ku Klux Klan or whatever, you feel me? I just feel like that is kind of bold. I feel like a lot of people out here wouldn't be accepted, real receptive to it. Like they'll probably be like, "Oh no,
Man,
I'm
I
not
don't even
fucking
be
with
thinking
that."
about people really. Like I don't be thinking about like what can come from things or people's perceptions. I'm just a vessel, dog. I'm just putting out things that I see through my perspective, and not really worrying about the consequence. Like when I did the Gucci bonfire, and I painted Gucci doesn't care about black people, and I drew like the Klansmen in the Gucci robe and shit, and I was literally running from a helicopter, nigga, on Melrose Boulevard, hiding underneath cars trying to get away from the police, and then Gucci sent me a cease and desist. And then I took their cease and desist and made merch with it. And then I threw
Period.
a party and had fucking 1,000 people burning all their Gucci's and shit. That's just what led me. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, you fighting white supremacists through your art. Like it is just
That's hard.
some people might be scared, but you really walking out there in faith, like, nah, we doing this shit, and you got a lot of people backing you. You know what I'm saying?
Wait till I get the world behind me. I mean, listen, I'm still regional. I mean, we global, but I'm still accessible. But don't let me get like, not even don't let me, when I get global, I plan to do things with my art that will shift culture, that'll shift the world, that'll shift, like you said, you looked and you questioned this. Like all it takes is a seed. That's it. Someone says a seed to you, it can question everything you're doing.
Yeah.
And when you create art, that's all I'm doing is just planting seeds, you know?
Was there a like a specific situation that happened that made you started like questioning religion? 'Cause I seen the movie and I questioned my daddy and he looked at me like I was
Was
the devil.
Zeitgeist?
No, it was a movie called, I don't know what it was called, but it was about like the first lie ever told. So pretty much these people lived in a reality where everybody told the truth. And at one point, one guy said, "My job is so boring. I need to get creative." He was a writer, and he started making up stories. And one of the stories that he made up was about Noah's Ark. And he had all these people believing that he can get to every animal to his house and that he knew this guy named Moses.
That's crazy.
So
what movie is this?
I don't know. I was probably like 15 when I saw it. I want to say it's called The First Lie Ever Told. It's like something like that. So that made me wonder, what if at some point in the Bible, niggas start writing different stories in the Bible?
Yeah.
How do we know, that the scripts that were found by the little kid who gave them to his daddy, how we know that when they translated them from to English, that they didn't start making shit up? So that was a situation that made me question the Bible. Was there like something specific that happened?
So I don't know if I question the Bible, because the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, you can really break down the Bible and understand the esoteric teachings that are deeper than like Noah's Ark and shit. I think I just question church. Because I grew up going to City of Refuge, City Refuge, and Pastor Noel Jones, no disrespect, but when you pulling up to church in $1 million car and you got like 20 security and half of the people in your church is broke as shit and there's an ATM by the bathroom, I don't know. It just don't make no sense to me.
An ATM in a church is crazy.
You know what? That fucking church, it rubbed me the wrong way, but it also, I really loved his word.
No, I
love the way he speaks, but it did rub me the wrong way. I think I was at Bible study one day, and one of the preachers was like, "Yeah, brothers, everybody give $100," and I was like, "Nigga, what?" And it kind of fucked me up because it was like, "You ain't got 100, don't even worry about it. Don't even touch the plate." Almost kind of like arrogant.
I heard
almost.
a pastor say, "If you donated more than 100, stand up. If you donated more than 500, stand up." Praise the Lord. I walked out. A child.
Yeah, man.
Like,
So,
uncomfortable.
I love Noel Jones. I just would say, if you have a congregation of 1,000 people, 2,000 people, you can tell them Jesus will handle all your needs and everything will be good and blah, blah, blah. Or you can give them real tools on how to take their faith and manifest what the fuck they want. I feel like a lot of preachers don't do that because if you teach people how to manifest what they want, they ain't coming back to church. Mm-hmm. If you really knew that God was inside of you, you are the God, like you can create anything you want with, you wouldn't be praying for the same. Actually, to pray for the same thing more than once is the opposite of faith. Let's say you pray tonight like, God, please, I need a blessing. I need some money. And then you pray the next day, God, I need a blessing. I need some money.
You didn't have
faith. You didn't have faith that the first time it fucking happened. Yeah. So like church just teaches a lot of bastardized ways of thinking that I just can't really rock with. But, you know.
I've been in church since I was a child, and I didn't learn the importance of faith until last year. And that's because I went to a Christian college.
So are you guys almost atheists?
No.
No.
Don't put that on me. Not on here.
I'm actually a Davidian.
Yeah, I mean, break that down for me.
I'm a Davidian. I believe in myself.
But not God.
What's the difference?
Well, you said we are God.
Well, look around this room. Tell me one thing in here that wasn't created by someone's imagination. No, like really try. Like really look around and tell me one thing that wasn't created by someone's imagination.
I can't.
So if our imagination has created everything around us, I believe that we are all part of one singular consciousness, that there is no, you know what a hive mind is? Like bees, how bees kind of all can telepathically talk to each other. They all share the same consciousness. I believe we're the same thing. I think we're one with everything.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain, there's a big difference between who you are and who you think you are?
Good question. I'm going to take this fur coat off. You wasn't lying.
I told you. Well, how long he lasted.
The lights.
Yeah, you was doing it up. I seen you. I said, okay, he's sniffing. There we go.
The fit's still crazy, though.
That's Skidr.
Yeah.
I got a napkin, something.
Yeah. Right there.
Thank you. We ain't live, bro.
No.
Nah.
Cut that shit out.
Laura, cut that part out.
Nah, y'all can keep that shit in. I ain't sure. It's real life. Most of us play roles, right? So like, right now I'm in No Jumper. I'm wearing some leather pants and some Rick Owens. I got a Cartier watch on. I'm a rapper today. Mm-hmm. Why am I a rapper? Because I said I'm a rapper and I make rap music. And I don't really live a rapper's lifestyle, but, you know, rappers live rappers' lifestyles. They fuck with bitches and they smoke weed and they do whatever they do. We all just create characters for ourselves, but it's not real. Like, you could wake up tomorrow. I could wake up tomorrow and be anything. Mm-hmm. We're just playing roles to fit into this box that makes life more palatable to live by, if that makes any sense. Like, have you ever watched The Truman Show?
No.
Have you?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Where do you feel like your artistry is going to take you, man, and what do you feel like is holding you back right now from being the biggest ever? Because I know you have a lot of ideas. I mean, you have the tools behind you. I know you feel like you that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? What's holding you back?
Nothing. There's nothing holding me back. If you would ask me that a couple years ago, I would have said myself, because we're the only thing that can hold us back. There's no external force that can stop you, because the external is really the internal.
And
You know,
That's
if
crazy.
you want to look out, look in. You know, if you're broke, sad, life caving in, that's just an outward reflection of how you feel inside. So when my life was in disarray, it was because I was in disarray. So there's nothing that's stopping me. It's just a matter of time. I can't pick when that hit is going to line. I can't pick when any of those moments that take me into fucking the stratosphere happens. It could be 3 weeks from now. It could be 3 months from now. But all I can do is continue to fucking create.
as a young creator and and a young business owner, like what are some of the tools you can tell these young people out here? How do you start a brand? You know what I'm saying? Where do you go as a young brand owner to take those steps to get to where you going?
I would say the first thing you do is find your why. So what's on your shirt?
Hire a black woman
Why?
because there's a lack of black female representation in media
Why?
because they're not being hired
Why?
because this is a male-dominated industry.
Why?
I don't know. I can't go as deep as you.
We don't even got to go deep, but really think about that. Like, why? Start with your why. A lot of people nowadays have brands, right? And we put names on it. And, it could be your name. It could be the name of some other shit. But it's really, a lot of it's just based in ego. A nigga put, like, Pierre this on a fucking shirt, right? Okay, I get it. But what's your why? Start with your why, because if you have a strong enough why of why you're doing it, then you'll create a story. And then that story will bring people in, and then you'll create you need purpose. So the why helps generate the purpose, like Skidr, right? It's a name, but the purpose was to what? Bring attention to a community that's underserved, create job opportunities for people who are home. Like, I have a why. It's deeper than just putting a logo on a t-shirt. So whenever times get hard and I might not have no money or this, my why can sustain me. If your why isn't strong enough, then you'll just give up.
Yeah, but your why is just a little bit deeper than everybody else. Why? 9 times out of 10, the why is money. So I need to make money, and then I feel like I'm creative. So where the fuck do I go to make a T-shirt and a hat? Point me to the right direction.
See, and that's why there's so much bullshit today, because money isn't even fucking real. It's real, but it ain't even fucking real. So if your why is attached to money, you'll just do whatever for money. I ain't even trying to get fucking super duper deep, but like on the way here, I was fucking listening to an audio book about stoicism. And stoicism is just talking about how we don't be attached to anything. Be unattached to your need for money, validation, opinions, all this. And once you break free from your need to have money, this, and you're truly free. If you need money, you're just a slave to the idea of money. So you'll do anything. You'll fucking sell your ass for money. But your brand actually says something, right? It actually means something. When you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you're going to find the core of why you want to do it. And once you find that core, use that.
I have a deep, thorough, long quote on
You
the
got
back.
a whole
that
goddamn
actually,
mandate on the back.
It
See,
explains all of it, but just me saying it out, like I'm not able to just repeat it. I don't know if
how many people are on your team?
For this or
Yeah,
in general.
for that.
This was a collab with somebody else who they kind of reached out to me and said, "Hey, you
Was it a
you're
woman?
going crazy?" No, it was a guy.
Okay, so I would say if you're gonna do that, start a team with all women. Hire all black women. And
Well,
then
so for my production for my ciphers,
Yeah.
all black women.
all black women, and create platforms for more black women, and then create a podcast talking about the black women you're doing, and then talk about, like, you know what I mean? Like, then you get deeper down the rabbit hole. You have purpose. You don't just have a hoodie with your fucking name on it.
Can we get into some lyrics? Or are you about to
Just-
say something else? I'm sorry.
Anyway, to break it down, start with your why, and after you have your why, don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to your fucking friends. Don't listen to your like your family, my family, most people's family are like the killer of fucking dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you
No,
can have,
I live that.
they'll be the quickest to kill your shit because they can't see it and they have their own inadequacies. So their fears become yours. Jay-Z talks about in an interview how he almost quit rapping when he created his first demo and went to his uncle, and his uncle was like, "This shit garbage." Imagine if Jay-Z would have quit rapping. You know Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So find your why, and then once you have your why, let it take you all the way. People will try to give you opinions. People will tell you what to do, what not to do. Take it with a grain of salt and follow your inner. Your gut is God. Follow your God. Your God.
Noted. Thank you.
Yeah. Or lyrics.
I want to get into some lyrics.
Yeah. You deleted it?
What? This is crazy.
That's the
That
guy
was
he was talking about.
It was from Beyonce's Perfect.
You can't
Prince,
get it back.
Prince and you
They
said
killed Michael and Prince over
over.
publishing.
Yes, is it the industry or the government?
Yeah.
Wow.
Simple. I mean, some niggas are worth more dead than alive.
Well, damn, how do you feel about that going into this music industry, like knowing, like, you know what, I might be the biggest ever. Like, how do I attack that once I'm the biggest
It's
ever?
stoicism.
Like, it's crazy.
Hold on, it's stoicism. It's not being even. It's being your life, not even being attached to your own life. Knowing that everything is temporary, and doing anything that you want, regardless of your life, money, or anything. I know what that comes with, right? We all do. But am I gonna bitch up and fucking, sing and dance for these niggas? No, I mean,
So you fighting white supremacy all the way to the end.
you know what's so crazy? It's not even white supremacy. Because there's a level beyond the whites.
It's your dad.
No.
It's your daddy.
Oh, God. No, nigga. It ain't my...
He don't got nothing for that.
It's him. He there.
No.
That was a good one.
It's another level. Who runs them?
Well, you got the richest families in the world. But you got the Rockefellers.
The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds,
The Rothschilds.
fucking, all of them.
Yeah.
But who runs them? Who's at the top of the pyramid?
Shit, you tell me. Because I thought that was the pyramid.
I mean,
Illuminati.
you got us at the bottom. Then you have the police force policing us. Then you have the government. And then you have the rich people. Then you have the corporations. Then you have the families. And then you have this. But at the top, I'm not about to say it on here. Let's just say that there's different caveats to this. It ain't a white thing. It ain't a Jew thing. It ain't a black thing. Might be a green thing. I don't know.
Why not? Educate me, because I want to know. I'll be leaving this
We ain't
forever
getting canceled.
No, I know y'all can't.
This is Adam at the top of our pyramid.
Let's just say, I can't say it just yet, man. There's different parts of my story I got to tell before I can go there. But I'll just say, like, of course, there's certain people who hold power over us, right? But there's different entities in this planet, man. It ain't all fucking human. It ain't all, it's like, it's a lot of fucking magic going on, man. That's why we got to stay prayed up. You got to keep faith and know thyself. Know thyself. You got to know who you are, because as things progress over the next couple years, y'all about to see a lot of fucking crazy shit, man, that will have you really questioning everything.
So how do you use your knowledge to enlighten your people? You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones our
Fuck,
age.
what you think I'm doing right now? It's a lot of niggas who watch No Jumpers like, what is this nigga talking
They
about?
for sure finna be like, huh?
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? But they might rewind it.
But they might rewind it. They might
Yeah.
Google it. They might ask their cousin. They might be like, yo, this nigga's talking that shit. I'm doing it right now. The song you were trying to reference. I said
Beyonce's perfect. I found it.
Beyonce's perfect. I say it in the songs. The painting, I painted.
Mm-hmm.
The clothes, nigga, everything I do is to inspire and enlighten.
When
There's
you
a-
painting, like, where's this motivation coming from? Because I never understood, like, the artists and the just abstract about this shit. And I'm just looking and I'm like, I can't see the fucking story. You got to tell me. Like, but now, like, in my older age, like, I kind of, like, I get it to where you was talking about, like, you got to be free with this shit.
You got to realize who you are in all of this, man. Like, we're all just vessels. We're all just vessels if we allow ourselves to be, for energy to flow through us and to give the world something. Like Lil Wayne, right? He don't write shit down, right? And that nigga be saying some crazy ass shit. And he's like, Jay-Z, he has this line. He was like, Con Edison flow, my mind's connected to a higher power. He's talking about some shit when Jay-Z be gassing. I don't know what energy he's connected to, but there's something speaking through that nigga. There's something speaking through people who are open to it. And it's either light or it's dark. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of darkness in the music industry. It's a little bit of light, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the light will shine through. So I would say it's not even me, dog. Like, if you ever see me paint, you'll be like, this nigga ain't even using a pencil. This nigga ain't do a sketch. He ain't looking at shit. How did he just paint a whole mural in like 20 minutes with no, because I'm not even thinking, dog. It's just my bot, like my shit just moving. I just become a vessel, man.
That's crazy. There was it's another piece of content I wanted you to explain. It
What
was
up?
a fish evolving into a human.
Yeah. I mean, some would predate humans back to fishes. Reptiles, fishes. I mean, you see a sperm cell, right? With the little tail and shit.
Yeah.
It kind of resembles a fish. It's evolution.
So they looked at me like I was crazy when I told them I believed in mermaids.
I believe in mermaids too.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Listen, you know the only reason why I believe in it is because anything the imagination can conceive, I believe is real and exists somewhere.
Yes.
Vampires, like it had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I just think that whether it's in our dimension, another realm, or, I mean, did you know? I mean, you know, because you probably believe in mermaids, nigga. But like, 90% of the ocean is undiscovered.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It could be an entire fucking world underneath the ocean, and we have no idea.
Yeah. I saw something that
I used to fuck with a mermaid.
okay. Like, for real?
Squishy, squishy.
What do you mean by that? Because now you fucking with me.
No, I'm not. I used to fuck with a mermaid. I fucked with a reptilian bitch. I fucked with some pretty.
You not telling me you fucked with like somebody like Ariel with with fins and
Would you believe me if I told you I did?
I don't know what to believe right now.
I've been the quietest I've ever been on the interview. I love the listening. I'm listening. This is great. So my niggas fucked with a mermaid, a reptilian bitch. Like, my nigga's an artist. He's a rapper. You know what I'm saying? He lives in space, okay? And we don't believe this nigga. You feel me? Like, his daddy Jewish. He run the country, as a matter of fact. Like, this is wild. I love it. Keep this shit going. What else do we fucking believe in, like, right now? Let's just get on, like, as far as, like, do you believe that there's still racism out here in this world? Like,
Come on, of course.
like, I want you to break this down, too, because I just love your ideology.
Oh, man, is there racism in this world right now?
Because some don't believe, you know what I'm saying? Some of my, like, I would ask that, and it just seems like so cliche, but I would ask that because where I grew up, And you know, when I was growing up, I didn't see white people or I didn't see other races, and I didn't have to deal with a motherfucker calling me a nigger or I didn't have to deal with motherfuckers pushing me out or doing no wild shit. But now you would see, like, you know, now racism is, you know, it's formed into different things.
Well,
It's not called racism anymore.
I got a question. Where you grew up at, were there gangs?
Yeah.
With gang violence, right?
Yes.
Niggas would kill each other over what? Beef, money, territory.
Some type of beef, yeah.
But nowadays, I mean, really, a nigga could kill a nigga over a dice game, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it gets deep, right? But it really, if you really go to the root of it, it's because we hate ourselves. And that's racism. We hate niggas more than they hate niggas. So it's like reverse fucking racism. And that's not even our fault. That's the fucked up thing about it. We hate each other because we've been programmed to hate each other. Did you know gangster rap was funded by private prisons? So is the agenda of like these crooked politicians whose missions is to keep niggas recycled in the system. And then the judicial system pimps them.
Yes. I understand these things. And
No,
this
he-
judicial
no, really,
system
he
of
is
these
like- he's
prisons,
potting.
this shit is real life.
Really think about this. The gangster rap was funded in the 90s, in the late 80s, by privatized prisons that were empty, that needed to be filled with bodies.
I did not know that.
I mean, there's a whole, like, you can Google and really go down the rabbit hole, but there was like a meeting of the minds where these rich motherfuckers came at the gangster rappers of the time.
Well, give me a year.
Listen, Crazy Bone, just if you're watching this, look at a Crazy Bone interview where he talks about how he like went to this big ass house. There was a bunch of rappers there, and they pretty much told him, listen, we'll make you rich as fuck. We'll give you the platform, but y'all niggas got to talk about killing, murder, drugs, this. And he said it was 2 rappers that was like, I ain't with this, fuck y'all niggas. And them niggas end up dying. Listen, it makes all the sense in the world. My uncle was a notorious Crip, and he used to tell me how they would bring fucking trains through the hood and just drive and just have guns. Like, you know about that? Like,
Yep.
just
I just
literally
heard
just
about
drop
that.
off guns.
I heard about that. But that's similar to when George Floyd passed away and they was putting bricks in front of all these.
Nigga, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's a fucking game, right? So you get all these okay. Slavery. What was we doing? Picking what?
Cotton.
Picking fucking cotton. You know, I feel like this just turned so deep. Like, now I'm like a Dr. Umar nigga or something. Like, I'm not even a conscious rapper. I feel like every time I get on a platform, it's my need to fucking talk because it be so much bullshit. You know what I mean? But slavery, we was picking what? Cotton, right? Mm-hmm. They fucking took slavery away, right? They built prisons. They gave us drugs, alcohol, guns, all the devices for us to kill each other. We get in prisons, and now what are we doing? We're sewing jeans. We're fucking with cotton again, just in a new way. It's new slaves. It's crazy, man.
That's facts.
It's fucking crazy, dog.
Well, before you get up out of here, we
Damn,
talk about.
Do we want to leave? I don't want to leave.
I need to go to sleep tonight because I'm gonna be on the fucking rabbit hole on YouTube
time is
tonight
it? My God,
for this
hold on,
Crazy
what time
Bone
is it?
interview. How did you get linked up with DJ Drama?
Man, I don't know. Next one. Next
God.
question, I don't know.
Faith,
I don't know how I met that nigga.
No.
But next one.
are you signing
You don't fuck
Generation
with that
now?
nigga?
No, I love him. I love DJ Drama. I met him. We made some music. He's a really amazing dude. Shout out to him for making his fucking gangster grills with me. But let's talk about something else. We don't got that much time left.
I would just hate for you to leave and we didn't talk about the rap.
Nigga, I rap. Listen to my shit. David Sabastian, one of the coldest niggas out there, for real.
I mean, I got more quotes.
Well,
I mean, I've been deep.
Let's just like speed through it. Speed racing.
All
Come
right.
on.
Quit your job, drop out of your school, move out of your city, leave your relationship, start your business, burn the bridge, sink the ships, invest your last dollar, believe in yourself, throw everything away that keeps you stuck to this identity you created to forget who you truly are.
You sound like Picasso, nigga.
Do you know? I don't know if it was Columbus, but one of these colonizers, when they took the ships over, right, and they came here, you know what they did? They blew up the boats.
You know what? Go back here. Everybody thinking I'm crazy. I say, where the fuck are these slave ships?
Well, no. So that's a whole other thing because we could get deep into that.
Where are they?
Because where are they?
Where
if there
are
was
they?
hundreds of thousands of slave ships bringing niggas over,
Where are they?
Where are they? Just show me one of them motherfuckers.
Where's one?
Okay, so that's a whole other thing.
I see a dinosaur in the museum.
And that ain't even a dinosaur.
Bitch, where is the slave ship?
Bro, when you
I
go
don't
to
believe in dinosaurs.
when you go to the dinosaur museum and you see all them fucking big ass rocks, I asked them, I was like, are these real? They're like, no, they're replicas. Show me a real motherfucking dinosaur bone. Mm-hmm. That shit ain't real. But what I'm saying is sink the ship. This is a jewel that you need for your life, right? They came over here, right? And they touched down on land and then they fucking burnt the ships. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Why are you? Because you're either gonna conquer this motherfucker or you're gonna die. You can't leave. There ain't no going back. So we either gonna get what we came for or you gonna die. And I feel like we all need to do that in our life. We need to sink the ship. A lot of us got plan Bs, plan Cs, you know what I mean? Things that keep us in our comfort zone, like, I'm gonna do this, but I gotta keep this job because I need to pay my rent. Mm-hmm. That's why I got my first face tattoo. My first neck tattoo when I was like 17 years old, because I told myself I ain't never getting a job.
Oh, you just like me. I got my face tattoo. I worked a job for like 6 years, 7 years. And these motherfuckers was like, I'm gonna fire you. But the whole time I was like, you know what, I'm finna quit this motherfucking job. But just so I can't come back here, I'm finna get a tattoo on my face. So y'all won't hire me. Just because, so if I ever said, you know what, plan B, I'm gonna go back to work.
Yeah.
These niggas can't hire me.
Bro, you sunk the ship. And I don't know if you've ever been through bad times, but look where you at now.
Yeah.
You ain't working a job, right?
Kinda.
But you ain't working that
I ain't working no shit that I don't love. This is something that I love.
That you love, right?
Yeah.
So I guess sink the ship in your life. You know what I mean? A lot of us are stuck to relationships that we have no business being in. Leave that nigga. Leave that girl. You're in a job that you hate, but you're doing it to pay rent. Leave your job. I promise you might struggle for a month, but the universe can only open up a gateway the second you show what? Faith. And then it happens. So that whole thing was just, we're all playing a game. We're all characters in this magical movie called life. And a lot of us build identities that keep us stuck in this character. Burn that shit. Start over. You can literally just fucking start over. So that's what that means.
I mean, a real artist will always say that. A real artist always know you can't fuck up. There's no way you can fuck up. Paint that bitch back white and start over.
Yo, y'all ever been to the beach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ever looked at the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen an imperfect wave?
I don't know what a perfect wave is.
I mean, have you ever looked at the ocean and said, this don't look right?
No.
Have you ever looked up at a tree and was like, this tree just don't, that branch is off?
Mm-mm.
Or the sky, or fucking bird. Everything is perfect. There is no such thing as imperfection. Our fucking human ego created the idea of imperfection to like make us like, so you feel me? So none of this shit
I'm picking up what you putting down.
You feel me? Pick that shit up. I'm just saying, like, it's all perfect. Every single thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at women and all women and be like, damn, she a bad one.
All of them. Short, plus size, albino, dwarfs, all of them.
You there with it.
I'm there with it at the same time.
I love it. No, I love that. Let's get back on that slave ship shit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
a lot of people ain't kind of, I haven't broke it down all the way. I need to do a little bit more research on that. But just my common sense tells me that
Niggas was here already.
niggas was here already.
Niggas was here.
Niggas was here already.
We was here, and then they created. I'm not saying that there wasn't a slave trade, and that there was I don't know how many boats, but I'm sure there was some boats. But I think they propagated it to make it look like it was hundreds of thousands coming from fucking the motherland. Because if you knew this was your motherfucking house, and you didn't come from over there, and they give you a bunch of slave movies to really dig it in and fucking paint it's like your home. If this is your home, right? And someone comes through the door and say, I own this shit now. It's like, nigga, this is my shit. What the fuck you talking about? But if they come in here, right, and then tell a story that this ain't your shit, you actually came from all the way over there and said it generation to generation to now when you're in your own home, you're like, this ain't even mine. I come from over there. It's a different territory. You know what I mean? Niggas been here.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas being here for sure.
What you think about Kanye saying Rosa Parks was a puppet?
He said that?
Yeah.
This nigga crazy. He said Rosa Parks is a puppet? A puppet, for, like a metaphorical puppet?
So, I mean, eventually we end up getting a breakdown for it, and it
You
was
just
about...
gave me an idea. I should do the fucking, the slate, like, what do you call the Rosa Parks and MLK? Like the Muppets. Like a Muppet version of the motherfucking... like actually have Rosa Parks as like a sock puppet.
If you do that, you might as well say the other shit you didn't want to say. Because that's leading motherfuckers that getting canceled, huh, right?
He said Rosa Parks was a puppet.
Damn.
Well, actually put in the media, you know what I'm saying, to train the media on what was going on
because
around
What do you
that
mean
time.
training me?
So supposedly and I ended up learning this yesterday amongst the rest of the No Jumper staff, that there was a 16-year-old girl who actually had a similar story to Rosa Parks prior to the Rosa Parks, that actual situation.
Yeah.
But the reason why that one wasn't promoted was because she was pregnant.
Okay.
And her features didn't really follow through with the identity what they was trying to put out.
Was she light skinned?
Dark skin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So Rosa Parks.
Yeah. So I don't know about that. I don't like to speak on shit I don't know, but I will say this. A lot of that shit is controlled. A lot of it's like white supremacy controlling black narratives to keep niggas enslaved. So it wouldn't surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people like that you think is like rah, rah, rah. They got like puppet strings and they're being dangled in front of niggas to be like the poster child for this when really they're like brought and paid for.
Yeah, that's what it was. So the civil rights.
I'm not saying Rosa
leaders-
Parks is that. I don't know her.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. But I think a lot of stuff was like, it was like...
Well, I
it
mean,
wasn't real. It was propaganda for real. Like a lot of those things weren't real. No, a lot of that media shit was definitely made up. A lot of those pictures and a lot of those movies, everything was taught and having us our minds trained to think a different way for sure.
Yo, what if
down
I
to
told
this-
you this? This might be a high thought, but what if I told you that nothing existed? The only thing that existed is in your lifetime, and there's a script that keeps getting propagated to tell you about history, to give you some sense of reality and some history, but really the only thing that's ever existed is the now.
Well, that's actually how I feel. Yeah. So one day I was high as hell.
Off of what?
I got this little weed pen,
Okay.
and I was smoking a pen, and I was about to go to sleep, and I said, "Damn, one day the lights are just going to completely shut off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to it's going to be it. Like, it's just going to be literally it's just going to be black.
Black. Huh?
I'll die one day."
Yeah.
Does anything actually exist outside of what I'm seeing right now?
Do you have a lighter?
No.
Do you have a lighter?
Has to be one on the table.
Can someone throw me a lighter?
I tried to catch it.
just follow the flame. Okay? You see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't this hurt? Why doesn't it hurt? I'm sure you can smell my flesh burning. Why doesn't it hurt?
I don't know.
You smell that?
I don't really. Yes. Okay.
It's real. My shit's on fire. Why doesn't it hurt? Because I have mastered my mind. There is no pain.
Man, wrap this shit up.
This shit is tight, dog.
You ain't fucking with me.
I really love this shit. What's going on here?
Oh
I'm looking
my
at this nigga
God.
like he crazy in the motherfucker. I fuck with him though. I really love this nigga. I've been knowing this nigga for a long time, so I'm just really letting him sit up here and get this shit off. He gotta come up here and get this shit off real quick. I love it, man. You know, she was really doing her due diligence. She was really studying you. You feel me? Seeing what's going on because she really had no fucking
You
clue.
did your shit. You did your shit. Thank you.
Yeah.
But to explain that, and this might be the martini of the show. When you were a kid, right, you had no idea what pain was, right? Mm-hmm. You would jump off of shit, you'd fall, you'd cry. But most of the time, like, you ever see like a little kid like touch a stove and like he don't even feel it, but the parents like, yo, don't do that, it's hot. And he looks and he's like, nah, you know what I mean? Or have a delayed reaction where he'll fall, then the parent will say something and he'll cry. You got kids, so like, have you ever noticed that?
Mm-hmm. He's like, it's supposed to hurt.
It's supposed to.
Gotta cry. Fuck it.
Yeah, we're teaching people to experience pain. Mm-hmm. But in reality, that shit don't even exist if you can master your mind. So I cut off, like, you see this like burn right here? Mm-hmm. This was the day I realized that everything I thought was real wasn't. Literally just set my shit on fire and I'm like looking at it and not feeling nothing. I think that's a part of Christ consciousness. When Jesus was getting beat, like knowing that you're not your body. You're not your brain. You're not this. You're so much more infinite. Once you can disconnect from your identity, then you can truly be free.
Whew.
Now you can wrap that up.
I'm a little stuck.
I love this, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we get out of here, David, I need people to know where they can find you, where they can find your
Look
music.
inside yourself.
Definitely
Close your
do
eyes
that.
and you'll find me.
I
Say
love
my
it.
name 7 times and I will be there.
I
David
love you,
motherfucking
God.
Sebastian.
Thank you for kicking it with us. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate this. Let's do it again.
Yes.
Yeah, let's definitely do this again. I think a few people on this platform will have a field day with you. Not like that, pause. But they'll definitely enjoy speaking to you, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And, you know, on a different level. You feel me?
Got some big shit popping, like 2023. Some big shit popping. So as those things develop, I would love to come back. And you said you got a platform. It's all like, what's your platform?
So it's called Geniverse. I produce ciphers for up and coming artists, and it comes out on.
Is it all women or like men?
No, the production is all women.
Okay, well, I love to rap on your shit. You know what I mean?
Please.
You know.
Thank you.
I know you always got some shit popping. Like keep
Yeah.
me in mind. You know what I mean?
For sure.
We got to support each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And how's the
definitely.
Skidr thing doing downtown?
What do you mean?
The building, cause didn't you paint that shit like lime green? Or some shit like
lime
that?
green. Yeah.
Yeah, when I passed down there on the corner, I'm like, who the fuck did this? Nigga was like, David did this shit. I'm like, oh, he
Well, that
called.
building is now currently owned by Cowboy. You know Cowboy?
What?
Cowboy, Nipsey's
From
homie.
6-0?
Yeah, he owned the building.
He owned the building.
He sells Cowboys hot dogs. He has a fucking Cowboys breakfast in. That nigga has everything there. Like
That's
Cowboys,
tight.
my nigga. He is the true definition of a fucking hustler, dog. Like I met this nigga and he was like, yo, you need to paint your building. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yo, I'm gonna hire someone 2 days. He was like, no, give me 2 hours. I said, nigga, you about to paint this entire building in 2 hours? He said, give me 2 hours. I came back 2 hours. This nigga painted a fucking 40 store. This nigga's crazy, dog. I fuck with Cowboy. Shout out to Cowboy. But we moved from there, and now we're about to get a huge, like, 20,000 square foot space downtown to be
Yeah.
able to do like 360-degree rehabilitation, housing, manufacturing, rehabilitation.
All for Skid Row and the homeless.
yeah.
Yeah. I like that. And when is that to come? 2023?
23.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on that, bro. But
All right, man.
yeah, that will conclude this interview, man. I love my boy. Hope to have him back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you want to catch me on anything, back on Fig, make sure y'all subscribe to that. Don't worry about nothing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, every Wednesday, catch me live. Catch her on the Monday show every Monday. And yeah, we gone. Yeah.